Hello all. Thank you for joining us on this freezing morning. It is so cold here. Thank you for coming back. But if it's your first time, then welcome and head on over to our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr so far. And we always have updates going up, so updates on any cases we've covered, on any cases we are going to cover, and even the ones that we aren't covering, when there's latest news, we definitely make sure we share them. Also, I'd like to invite you all to head over to those pages so that you can... Well, we wish to invite you to come over to the pages, so if there's a case that you would really like covered further and you haven't been able to find a lot on it, drop us a line over at f.truecrime.com, I think it is, or an AU, I'm not sure. But I am more active on our social media pages, so f.truecrime on Facebook, EFFED, is definitely a place where I hang out a fair bit, and there's options to be able to make a comment and to put up posts. So I invite all of you to go on there and just let us know. I've got a list that I am getting, well, it's quite a big list, but everybody's been so kind and have even friend requested me at KL Lee Author. I always accept. So if you want to hit up a friend request, on the profile picture is the f.truecrime logo that we had made. So yeah, just go over there. I always accept, especially if you're a true crime junkie as I am. Yeah, like I said, if there's any specific cases, please just let us know and we'll cover it. I would love to cover the JonBenet Ramsey case, but I'm not sure. I've had a lot of readers say and fans say that I should cover it, but I'm always worried because there's just so many podcasts and that out there on that case. So I don't know. I don't want to bore anyone, if that makes sense. I don't want to bore anyone. But when it comes to cases like that, I do try to dig for information that hasn't come out so that it makes it a little bit more interesting. And I like to get people involved, so that's cool. Now, I've got a case which I've been telling you about for about 2 weeks now. It was supposed to be done a week ago. Then I had the heart attack. And it's just such a big case that I want to take my time covering it. I am actually writing a book on the Taylor McAllister murder case. And there I will actually be speaking to people that were accused of dumping her body in the back of an alley in December 2016. Huge case that never really saw the light of day. And you wouldn't believe this police department, you really wouldn't. It's in Florida. And we'll have more information on that as it leads up. Also, in just under 2 weeks, my very first true crime book will be out, called Mummy, I Thought You Loved Me. Not just to do with mothers, it's basically children that have abuse in one way or another, or even murdered by people that were entrusted with their care. It's a tough one, but you know, it needs to be covered. I like to think that we could maybe reach someone that's doing something that they shouldn't be, and for them to recognize what they're doing and go, oh, maybe I need some help. It's a long shot, I know it is, but if it's not put out there, then I mean, we're never going to get through to anyone, are we? So yeah. Now, in lieu of hearing about Mary Kay Letourneau's passing of colon cancer, I figured we should cover a few similar cases to that. Not as a tribute or anything, because the woman was, wow, that's a case we have to go over, guys. There was so much wrongness, and there was an interview that I dug up yesterday, and I couldn't believe it. She actually blamed Billy, for the 13-year-old boy at the time, for their entanglement, if you want to call it that. I couldn't believe it. So, but I will do a quick recap of the story now, but I'm not going to do a long one today, not on her anyway. So I found 500 cases of female teachers having sex with their underage students. 500 cases of female predators. Could not believe it. So Mary Kay Letourneau, who passed away on July 6th, so 10 days ago now, 2020, was an American school teacher who pled guilty in 1997 to 2 counts of felony second-degree rape of a child. Billy Falau. He was 12 at the time and had been her 6th grade student. She met him when he was 8, and she was still in her 30s, and luckily she didn't touch him for another 4 years. Actually, is that even luckily? No. While awaiting sentencing, she actually gave birth to Billy's child, with the state seeking a 6.5-year prison sentence. She eventually reached a plea deal, which would give her 6 months in prison with 3 months suspended, under the condition that she had no contact with Billy for life. And there were among other terms that were thrown in. The case received national attention, which I'm a little bit surprised of now. Maybe because they had a baby together, it was such a big case. But I can't believe there's 500 of them, and I haven't heard about a lot of these. And I'm a real true crime freak. So anyway. Shortly after spending 3 months in jail, the police caught Letourneau in the car with Billy one night. A judge revoked her plea agreement and reinstated the prison sentence for the maximum allowed by law, which was 7.5 years. But by 8 months later, by the time that this trial has taken place, she gave birth to Billy's 2nd child, both daughters. Gorgeous girls, really gorgeous. She was in prison from 1998 to 2004. Letourneau and Billy were married in May of 2005. The marriage lasted 14 years. To my surprise, I didn't even know that they'd split up last year, so in 2019. I'm really out of the loop these days. My goodness, I need to dig myself back in there just so I've got stuff to bring you guys. Letourneau died, as I said, of colon cancer only 10 days ago now. And she did have several months of treatment. Some people are saying that it's karma, which I don't know, it could be. They said that about my father though. My father would sleep with anything on 2 legs. And when he finally left us, he passed away 12 years later of cancer, and it was really hideous cancer. It was really bad. And basically my mother thinks that it was his karma, but he was miserable. He was miserable with her. Now we'll delve further into a case that's actually developing literally as we speak.
Welcome back. A Western Sydney teacher who's accused of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old student will stay behind bars after her bail application was refused. The prosecutor argued that Monica Young had already attempted to interfere with witnesses. Security video from the school will form part of the case against her, allegedly showing instances of contact between the 23-year-old and the boy.
Monica Elizabeth Young, who is 23 years old, a teacher in Sydney, Australia, is accused of sexually assaulting a student at a Sydney school. And she's only 6 weeks away from marrying her boyfriend of 6 years. To my surprise, he's standing by her. I couldn't believe it when I read it this morning. He is going to back her up. Young was arrested at her Sydney home on July 10th, so just 6 days ago. And when she was arrested, her electronic devices were seized. Young did not apply for bail when she fronted the Parramatta court on midday last Saturday via video link. But it was well known that she wouldn't receive bail because she posed such a risk. Now, Monica Young, 23, was denied bail on Monday by the Bankstown local court magistrate, who raised concerns she would interfere with witnesses if she were to be released. It came out that Young sent Snapchat messages asking the boy to send her explicit photos.